Carbon fiber is fast becoming a standard in the repair of residential basements. Both residential and commercial contractors have begun using carbon fiber straps and plates to reinforce concrete foundations of all types. Engineers are specifying and contractors are using carbon fiber to strengthen poured walls when the structural integrity of a foundation is in jeopardy. This video highlights our latest solution, carbon fiber grid staples, to be used in standard foundation crack repair. Carbon fiber grid staples are integrated into your poured wall crack repair process and will increase the strength of your finished repair job. Whether you're injecting urethane for waterproofing or epoxy for bonding, stitching across the crack with carbon fiber staples will solidify your crack repair and greatly reduce callbacks. Understanding movement of cracks will increase the success rate of your repair. There are 6 ways in which a crack in a below-grade poured concrete wall generally moves. Inward movement, as seen here, due to lateral loading from the soil pressure. Outward movement due to soil shrinkage caused by the drying out of the soil, most often in the summertime. Opening or widening of a crack due to thermo changes, freezing, thawing, wet and dry conditions of the soil. Closing of a crack also due to thermal changes. Shear due to indifferential loading, a slight sinking of the footing or uneven loading of the structure. 6 is a combination of all 5 movements. Our carbon fiber grid staples address all 6 movements. Understanding how the strength of the staples work is a must to make the best and most permanent crack repair possible. Looking at the grid staple, we see 5 carbon toes running the length of the staple and Kevlar strands that run perpendicular to the carbon. These carbon toes have a tensile or pull strength 5 to 10 times that of steel. It is in this direction we want to place the load. As the concrete attempts to move, the load is transferred to the carbon fiber grid staples and distributed throughout the carbon toes, and movement is arrested. On vertical cracking, the staples are installed perpendicular to the crack as shown. As the wall is stressed, the staples become in tension and the load is transferred to the carbon fiber. On horizontal cracking, the staples are placed also perpendicular to the crack, and because the crack is horizontal, there is likely some shear movement. This shear movement may be arrested by placing staples in a vertical position across the crack, as shown here, installing 2 staples in an X pattern. This X pattern will arrest walls in both shear and inward movement. Rotary hammer with 1-inch carbide drill bit, 3-inch chisel, epoxy dispensing gun. Step 1. Prepare the wall as usual for a crack injection repair. Step 2. Mark out the locations for the staples as seen here. Beginning at the bottom of the crack, place the staple on the area where it is to be installed and mark both ends with a marker. The first staple should be placed 24 inches from the bottom of the crack and then on 24-inch centers for the rest of the crack. If the crack is horizontal, use cross staples every other stitch to assure no movement in the shear direction occurs. Step 3. With the staple positions marked out, drill 1-inch deep holes where the staples are to be installed. After drilling both holes of a staple location, verify hole positions by inserting a staple so that it's flat to the wall. Mark this pre-fit staple for use in the same location during the installation process. Step 4. Chisel and clean the area between and around the drilled holes where the staples will go. Step 5. Using a wire brush, finish removing any dirt, paint, or other coatings from the crack area.
A final vacuum cleaning is recommended to ensure that the wall surface, and especially the drilled holes, are free of dust and debris. Step 6. Install the surface ports as usual, placing the ports on either side of the staple positions. Step 7. Apply surface seal in the area of the staples as seen here. Step 8. Finish applying surface seal to the remainder of the crack as normal. Step 9. Fill the drilled holes of a staple location with the two-part epoxy and coat the area between the holes as seen here. Step 10. Install the staple. Tip: be sure to use the staple that was pre-fit for each location. Use a trowel to push the staple into the epoxy so it is flat to the wall and continue to spread the epoxy evenly. Coat the staple with plenty of epoxy so it is completely encapsulated. Repeat this process for the remainder of the crack. Step 11. When surface seal has set up, inject the crack as usual. Step 12. Finish the repair job normally. When the two-part epoxy has set up and the job is finished, the carbon fiber grid staples reinforce that your crack repair will last, saving you the cost and headache of crack recurrence callbacks.